Not sure what I should do. My wife and I have had an insanely perfect marriage for the last 10 years. We have been married for 13 years, and the first few were pretty rough. We met at work waiting tables back in 2008. We dated for a couple years and ended up getting married in September 2012. Our marriage started out pretty rocky. I was working 60 to 70 hours a week to try and give her the life she deserved. She has the type of personality where she is friends with everyone. She had a weird relationship with our boss before we started dating. Basically, his wife wanted an open marriage so she could sleep around. He didn't want it, but inevitably he had to find somebody to sleep with to make it seem fair. That person was my wife. They slept together a dozen or so times before we started dating. She told me about this before the first time we slept together. She said there was no emotional connection, and he was just a friend that she slept with because she felt bad about his marriage. She continued to be friends with him with nothing physical happening. I had found a career that was going to hopefully bring us a great future. She continued waiting tables while she finished school. As the years went on, I got increasingly uncomfortable with her talking to him. I expressed my concern, and she told me he's just a friend and basically that I can't decide who her friends are. It bothered me, but I trusted her. We got married September 2012, and we invited all of our coworkers, including him, to our wedding. Fast forward to July 4th, 2013, and she handed me her phone for something. I look down and see text messages from him. "I wish I could bring you breakfast in bed. I wish you were here," etc. I said, "Well, I can't believe I have been this stupid. We didn't even make it a full year." She swore up and down that nothing happened, that there were inappropriate texts, and that's it. We were constantly arguing, and I was drinking at the time, so there was definitely friction. I chose to believe her as long as she found a new job and cut ties. She did, for the most part. Fast forward a couple more years. We ended up having our first daughter, ended up pregnant on the third round of IVF, and then 2 more within the next 3 years. Life was stressful with 3 kids under 3 and me working crazy hours to try and provide. But we were great. Our lives continued to become more and more amazing over the years. I ended up buying the business I worked for and expanding. My work schedule became minimal. Our kids were all in school full-time, so we would spend the days with each other doing whatever we wanted to do. Sometimes it would be just staying in bed all day. We took family vacations several times a year. Nice house, her dream car, my dream car, etc. It was the what we have worked towards. And we were finally enjoying the spoils. Over the last 12 years, every once in a while, the thought would pop into my head that maybe she didn't tell me the truth. I was always able to push it down because I chose to believe her. Then one day 6 months ago, she said something while talking to her friend on the phone. Something about work, but she said, "Oh well, he's oblivious," in reference to me. Something about it made me spend the next 5 months digging through old phones, laptops, tablets, purses to try and find something that would confirm my worst fears. I didn't find much other than a couple old texts, not from him. Those were all deleted. That led me to ask the question. When I asked her December 23rd this past year, she immediately started crying and said, "Why now?" She admitted to sleeping with him 2x. I believe that to be true based on the thousands of texts and timeline I built over 5 months. Said she was lonely and I was mean to her back then. He was nice to her at the time, and she drove to his house and slept with him. She said all the usual. It was terrible. She didn't know. He was small, etc. But she went back one more time a week later. She says she does not know why she went back. She swears there was never an emotional connection. The sex was terrible, and it really had nothing to do with him. It could have been anybody at the time. She was just so alone. She swore on our children's lives that it was only twice and never happened before or after. About 6 years ago, he sent her an email checking in to see how she was doing. She showed me it and sent him a mean email back to never contact her again. That he almost ruined the best thing that happened to her. We have been on a roller coaster of fighting, intimacy, sadness, and me leaving for a couple nights. It's not only that she cheated, it's that she lied for 12 years. That the amazing life we have built was founded on a lie. She has been very open and willing to do whatever it takes to prove to me how sorry she is, and that there was nothing else to ever happen. I don't know what to do. I can't sleep. I'm having panic attacks. We have 3 young, beautiful daughters and a business we share. Any advice is appreciated. The last couple of months have been a blur. Some days, I wake up and feel like things are almost normal. Other days, the weight of it all hits me the moment I open my eyes. I keep looking at her, wondering how she could keep something like this from me for over a decade. I wonder how many times she's looked me in the eyes, told me she loved me, told me I was the only one for her, while carrying this secret. I wonder if there were other lies, other things I don't know. My mind has become a battlefield between the love I still have for her and the betrayal I can't shake. She's been doing everything right since the confession. She's patient when I lash out. She doesn't get defensive when I ask the same questions over and over. She constantly reassures me that it was only those 2 times, that it meant nothing, that she regrets it more than anything in her life. She tells me she loves me, that she wants to spend the rest of her life making this up to me, proving that I'm the only one she's ever truly wanted. She's offered therapy, both for herself and for us. She's told me she'd take a polygraph if it would make me feel better. She deleted all social media accounts without me asking. She gives me her phone whenever I want, her laptop, access to everything. But it doesn't change the fact that, for 12 years, she chose to lie. That she looked me in the eyes, saw my pain, saw my struggles with insecurity and trust, and still denied the truth. That she let me build a life with her, while holding on to a secret that could have changed everything. I keep going back to those years, the early years when I worked insane hours, when I was barely home, when I was exhausted and short-tempered. I know I wasn't perfect. I know I wasn't always the best husband, but I was trying. I was working to give us the life we dreamed of. And while I was killing myself to build our future, she was driving to his house. Twice. She says she doesn't even know why she went back the second time. That she hated the first time. That it wasn't even good. That she didn't care about him. That it could have been anyone. But then why go back? Why risk everything a second time? Some days, I think maybe I can get past this. That the last 10 years of love, of happiness, of building a beautiful life together mean more than those 2 nights of betrayal. That people make mistakes, and that she has spent over a decade proving she is committed to me and our family. But then other days, the anger takes over. I picture them together. I think about the lies. I think about all the moments I felt insecure about their friendship, all the times I asked if anything had ever happened, and she reassured me over and over that nothing had, that I had nothing to worry about. And I feel like a fool. The worst part is, I don't know how to move forward. I don't want to leave. I don't want to tear our family apart. I don't want to break our daughters' hearts. I don't want to lose the woman who has been my best friend, my partner, my everything for the last 13 years. But I also don't know how to stay without feeling like I'm betraying myself. She's been so understanding, but I can see the toll it's taking on her too. The guilt is eating her alive. She cries almost every day. She tells me she hates herself for what she did, for lying for so long. She begs me to believe that she has never and would never do anything like that again. That she has been 100% faithful every single day since that last time. That she has only ever wanted me. But she also knows that words aren't enough. That there's nothing she can do to undo the past. I don't know how to let go of this. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I can wake up every day for the rest of my life and not wonder if there's more she hasn't told me. If I can look at her and not think about those nights. If I can ever fully trust her again. I've talked to a therapist a few times. They say trust can be rebuilt, but it takes time. They say it's okay to grieve. That even though it happened 12 years ago, I only just found out, so for me, it's fresh. They say that if we both put in the work, if we're both willing to fight for this marriage, we can come out stronger. But I just don't know. Right now, I feel like I'm stuck in limbo, between wanting to believe we can move past this and feeling like I'll never truly be free of it. I still love her. That's what makes this so hard. If I didn't, the choice would be easy. I'd walk away, cut my losses, start over. But she's my person. Or at least, she was. I don't know if she still is. I don't know if she ever really was. And that's the scariest part of all. I keep waiting for a sign. For some moment of clarity where I just know what to do. But so far, it hasn't come. All I know is that this pain is unbearable, and I don't know how much longer I can live like this. I don't know if time will heal this wound or if it will always be there, just beneath the surface, waiting to remind me that the life I thought I had was never really what it seemed.